And where I taught history, and where the history department was very close to where the Dobermans were kept. We had 4 of them, and you could hear the Dobermans barking throughout the day, and you're like, they are getting angry. They cannot wait to get out. Yeah.
Are you so happy? What you're doing now is nothing like that.
No, but I honestly, I loved it.
You love being a teacher?
I loved being a teacher. I loved Clinton. I loved all of it. I mean, the stories, I could write a book about, we had, in the school one time in the hall, we had a cockroach about this big, right? And we had gangbangers walking around the cockroach.
I needed murder yesterday, see?
So let me ask you a question. When I went to Clinton, there were no gangbangers. It turned into a gang school?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's why
What gangs were
School of
there?
Science
Yeah,
put
across the
up their
street.
wall.
Yeah, but they always had the wall.
Yeah, but it went higher.
You got higher? Must be the
Can't
size of
jump
the
the wall
Empire State
anymore.
Building.
That's why, you know what her superpower is?
I can jump over subway grates in 5-inch heels.
Oh, that's right. I heard
Jump the
about,
wall.
we heard about that yesterday. Everybody wants to pay to see that.
Speaking of superheroes, we have a new opening we're going to be working on. It's our superhero power. So we need to get some pictures going. Gio's going to work on that.
Joe says he's going to make him all sorts of
We're going to
cartoon
become
characters.
animated.
I love
Now,
it.
I got a question. Did they ever open the time capsule?
Not while I was there.
But they buried it in the front when I was there.
Right. So they never opened it while I was there. But I will find out for you because I still have friends who work there. So I
Do
will
you?
yeah.
At DWC?
Yeah.
What year was the time capsule buried?
What year did you teach?
So I was there 89 through 94.
Okay, and I went to school in 79,
So it wouldn't be your time capsule.
74, I think I went. No, it was our time capsule. I threw something stupid in there.
Well, if they have it, I'm going to find it and I'm bringing it to you.
And they must have opened it because I think it was 25 years. You know, we used to walk the halls at DWC. We were the Dobermans when you were the governor, when you were like a leader of the school. And we used to walk with Mr. Gary. They used to call him Bald-Headed Gary. We used to walk the school.
Wait, they released the Dobermans. You were the Dobermans?
No, the Dobermans came afterwards.
The Dobermans are real dogs, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
they came afterwards.
But you were the Dobermans?
We were called the Doberman Gang before. We used to go and find
But the
people.
Dobermans that they release are real dogs. Dogs.
That would happen after. I
DOGS.
wasn't there for the DOGS.
So you were the Doberman
We were the Doberman gang,
That's
and I
horrifying.
caught my cousin, Ruben Seda. I caught him in the hallways, and I said to them, "Listen, instead of taking him to jail in the basement, can I take him back to class?" It was a jail in the basement, so I took him back to
There's
class.
a jail in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of your
truancy.
Yes.
Truancy in your school, there's a jail in the basement.
Yeah.
This is real life.
Yeah.
Get
Yes.
out of here.
And they call your parents. They had to bail you out.
At a jail in the basement.
Or you
Yeah.
stay there.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Maybe they need that more. Maybe that's would help with the respect that's
Well, they
going
brought
on in our
Dobermans.
schools.
Now, I heard the Dobermans didn't bite you. What they did was they didn't let you move.
Like, they
That's right.
can't bite you.
No, they can.
They can.
They can.
They shouldn't.
So they used to tell you, don't move. If you move and you get bit, and you had to sign a waiver that if you were a truant and you're doing what you're not supposed to be doing,
This is school?
it was cool.
Yeah, a
They
real
didn't mess
school.
around at DWC.
Oh, yeah. This is where I taught.
Holy smokes. And where was this school? Is this
In the
school?
Bronx.
in the
They were
Bronx.
right next to Bronx High School of Science, the #1 school in the Bronx.
So you would have the #1 school, and then you'd have these shenanigans going on across the street.
Oh my gosh. How you grew up is just amazing.
That's why I drink Happy Coffee.
Get your happy coffee.
Listen, you can. We're gonna do a segment sponsored by Happy Coffee. It's arrived. It's here. The mugs are here. Happy Coffee, Laurie. Thank you very much. This is the best.
You can find us on Facebook and Periscope and our new YouTube channel at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. And do you want to announce our big news? Because I don't think
Yes.
Genji knows.
Yes.
Go for it.
If you go to your Siri, your phone on Siri, and you ask Siri to, you go.
Siri.
No, you don't say Siri. You
Siri.
go. No, you turn Siri on.
I said Siri.
The Brooklyn Cafe TV show podcast. If you say
We are
that
now
to
a
your
podcast.
Siri,
I saw.
We are now a podcast.
if you say that to your Siri, it will automatically bring up the Brooklyn
Do
Cafe
you know the
podcast.
funniest thing? We're on Real Radio. We're on social media. We have our own YouTube channel. We are on cable TV in Manhattan and Atlanta and Boston. But that's not big enough for everybody else. They go, "You're on a podcast? Really?" That is blowing everyone away. That we are now podcast, Overcast, Undercast, Outcast. We're casted.
There's a lot of casts.
There's a lot of casts.
Apple
you keep
Cast,
sending me.
but no Spotify
Apple
yet.
CarPlay.
That I know-
Spotify's coming.
It's coming. Spotify is supposed to be. They contacted me. They're working on it, and it's going to be on iTunes. The amazing thing about podcasts is that for some reason everybody listens in your car, right?
Yeah.
So they have a new gizmo that we have as this podcast in the cars that are coming out. You say to your car, turn on the Brooklyn Cafe TV podcast, and your car will automatically play it.
Apple Play, I think it is. Apple CarPlay or something?
I'm just amazed. So I was playing with this, and I kept tricking Siri. I didn't say that, Siri. I said, and it kept bringing it up. I had a ball.
But yes, we are now podcast. I think our first show was the show we had with the boys, Yo Boys. We got Steve O. Steve O needs a new name. He's Stevie O, I think.
Stevia.
Stevie O, not Stevia. Stevie O. Stevie O. We had Coach Nick. Tom was in the house doing. I have to tell you, Tom did some interviews for us because we're putting together a sizzle for TV, a TV reel. It's very different being on the other side of the questions. It's very
Why?
strange.
I did a piece like that for Geo at Full Sail University.
You were very good, by the way.
I've done it before.
You were very good.
It's
You know
a
the
piece of
dating game when you ask a question and you go, the answer's right, the answer's wrong? You and I actually had one answer that was the same.
We did?
Yes.
You see, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to wait outside when you did your
You
interview.
didn't hear my answers.
I didn't even pay attention to you.
But you didn't hear that answer and yours was the same. So that should be interesting.
It should. Hey, Reed, let me ask you a question, Reedy. I got no food yet.
What you got?
Do
We got
you
no
know
food
how to
yet.
set up the remote,
The mini pack?
the mini? You want to take him and set it up outside and see if we can put it together? We got a new TV, and the one that's in the bag is busted. Just leave that one over here. The one that's in the bag. That's the new one. All right? And Humpty Dumpty's in the house. We're going to get
Steve
to you in
says
a
hey to
minute.
George. Steve O'Flattery says say hi to George. He says hey Jen. So while we're saying hi to George, Jen, Jen, why don't you introduce George?
Introduce
and that's Clive. I'm glad his name isn't a George or a Jen, because then I'd really be
If it was a
tongue-tied on
Dawn, I leave.
So I'm so excited to have George Duback here because George Duback is the ultimate networker. And this guy, you think I know everybody? This guy knows everyone. And he wants to tell people how to be a better networker.
Now, networking in the sense of social media, television, radio, all of it.
Everything. Yeah.
You know,
the
you
whole
look like
idea
an-
is
you look like an
well,
actor.
pardon me?
You look like an actor.
I used to be. I used to be in some movies at times.
He used to model.
Yeah, I did everything. I was a flamenco dancer, stained glass artist.
Tell me a movie you
engineer.
did. I swear to God, I've seen you
I mean,
somewhere.
I've been around for a long time. I'm 71 years old. I've had many, many lives in my life. So, anyway.
But weren't you in the movies?
Yeah.
Okay,
I've
what
been in
movie
the-
did you
Step
do?
Up Ford Revolution was the last movie I was in. It was a hip hop movie.
It's a great movie.
How great is that, right?
One of the best movies.
Yeah,
You
I
would
got-
love it. It's probably from one of your schools in New York.
Oh, it really could have been, actually. Yeah.
Well, they had dance mobs, and I was in a dance mob scene.
Were
I was
you?
at a country club with my so-called wife, and we're sitting there, and the whole dance mob comes in, gets up on this big long table, and dances. You know, does their routine, and then the girl flips off the table, runs over, sits on my lap, and she starts tugging on my tie and petting my cheek, and my wife gets real mad, and so
It's like a Fame. It's like the
was
movie
my
Fame.
scene.
That's
Yeah.
what Step Up is like. It's a great
Like
movie.
Fame.
Yes.
I seen Step Up.
Well, there's like 4 of them, and there was one in Miami that one I was in. They shot, but it was really a good, fun movie.
You remind me of a movie that I had to come to me. What's wrong with my phone?
But anyway,
Is it your phone that's singing?
Yeah.
Turn it off, please.
I'm trying.
I'm going to get blamed.
No, the whole idea of networking is not only in business, but it's to get anything you want in your life to use your network. And people don't realize they can use friends, neighbors, associates to get anything they want. And the story that everybody loves is how I found my wife. I actually used my network to find my present wife of 38 years. This was back in the disco days. I used to have a 3-piece white suit, black shirt, gold chains, big mop, and I did the whole John Travolta thing. But I never had a problem in meeting and dating a lot of women. But I couldn't find, that one special one. So I made a list of everything I wanted in a girl that I wanted to marry and bring home to mom, so to speak. So I made copies and I gave it to my 10 best male friends. And I said, if you meet a girl like this, I want you to introduce me. So 3 months later, my best friend Paul met my present wife at a party, called me up, says, you got to meet this girl. And boom, she fit the description perfectly, and that was it.
Leveraged your friendships.
Yes,
To
exactly.
meet your wife.
So I basically created my own free dating service. And referral dating is the best. All this online dating is great and stuff like
Doesn't
that.
work.
Matchmakers.
It's crazy.
Well, it's random, but
It's
the best way
scary.
is to be introduced to somebody, and you feel better about the whole situation than meeting somebody at a bar or online.
Well, the online problem is if you don't pay for it and everybody comes, it becomes a problem because there aren't a lot of normal people in Florida sometimes, and they end up
Well, it's
jumping
the
on
trust
us.
factor. If
Well,
there's a third-party trust factor, then
Third
it's
party
all-
trust factor.
Yes, like
What is that?
third-party validation.
Is that somebody introducing, or you're
Yes,
talking
or
about the
somebody
lady?
knowing or
Yeah, a
introducing.
third-party referral in business or in personal
Exactly.
is always better. I don't know why. It just seems like it makes the whole scenario
There's a trust thing
feel
going
better.
on.
Trust, credibility.
Excellent.
And there's sort of like people are accountable then because they got introduced, so they're not going to act maybe as flippant as they might if they're just meeting online, because they have to be accountable to the person that introduced them. So it makes the whole thing a lot better. It works.
And Jen
really
knows
well.
everyone. So yesterday she gets off the plane. I was just getting ready to text you, and she says, "My guest got sick." I said, "You got a guy?" She says, "I got a guy. I'm going to confirm with
I'm a
George. I got a
I
guy."
think last time I looked.
Well,
I'm a
Jen
guy.
has a segment that's called "I Got a Guy,"
Okay.
and she's always, "I got a guy," and she's always got a guy for something or a gal. I got a guy. Guys and gals. Why don't we do that? Why don't
Guys and gals.
Why don't we segue into Jen's segment for our New York gig?
Go ahead.
Guys and gals.
Love it.
I got a guy, got a gal. What do you think, Steve? Steve says he worked with you, George, by the way. He's typing in. Steve from New York
Okay.
Sounds.
Okay. Yeah.
He says, there you go, Steve. He goes, yeah. I
Right.
got a guy, I got a gal. And Jen always knows somebody. I still don't have a V card, but I'm going to get my V card.
It's happening.
It is happening. We're
And I'm
gonna,
gonna learn to use mine.
we're gonna train one of these guys to learn how to
No,
use yours
no, no. I
also.
tried that. It doesn't work. I'm gonna learn how to do mine because I've fallen behind, and
We'll
on
do
my
a session. I'll sit with you. You'll
Yeah,
it's
my
very
V
easy.
card doesn't have the shows.
Right, because she
Because-
had a little issue with some help.
One of
here.
our
So
help.
I've been kind of taking over the slack for you. For
Yeah, but I
some
need to
issues.
learn it, so
But
there
yeah,
is no
so
slack.
You'll learn. It's very, very easy. It's so user friendly. You'll love it. And
Now-
then the best part is because you'll have people following you. Because I looked, you have people following your
Do
V
I?
card. You do.
How do I know that?
Well, I looked to, you can, and we'll do our, when we do our little like tutoring session. And when you say we're live and you make that an event, people will get a notification and then they'll know, go right to your card and they can watch this on any platform that you want to hook it to.
Everything.
Every platform. We hook it to everything, and they can watch it being live streamed right through their phone. So now, when you talked about the podcast being so popular, it's because people do like to listen to it in their car. They don't have like, oh, good, the show's on, and they can go to their phone and watch it through Facebook. But the amount of battery and memory that takes up is insane. Because we're the conduit, we don't open any other browsers. So you could watch right through here and we don't take up anything on your phone. So they can watch you. I watched it yesterday right on my phone.
Did you see it?
Of course I saw it.
Was it
yeah.
crazy?
It was crazy. I would have liked to see the women a little more vocal.
Yeah, they
I would-
melted.
Yeah.
Girls, what happened?
I would have liked
We
to
need you to
seen
bring
that.
it. That's why we need you. That's why we need Gen G.
You do. You heard Tom. He says that
know.
Steve-O got a bunch of texts saying, what happened to the girls?
I know, the girls got a little quiet. So how do you know George?
So George was introduced to me by Russell Johnson.
Oh, that's so funny.
Friend
Russell
of the, friend of the
Johnson?
show, Russell Johnson. That's
I know
right.
Russell Johnson.
Yeah. So we met and we hit it off right away. We think very similarly. And then from there, we just grew a friendship. And then we were able to do a lot of business things together.
Do you remember Clive Freddie was talking to you yesterday about the space show he did, the alien show? That was with Russell Johnson.
Russell Johnson.
That's right.
That's, yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
How does Russ's name keep coming up?
But
Means
Russ
he's
knows.
probably going to call
no,
you now.
Russ knows everybody.
Everybody.
I did a number of shows with Russ. I did some other things that he did as well. I did a ton of stuff with Russ.
You could say to Russell, hey, can you just do me a favor and call Oprah Winfrey? And he'll be like, okay.
Well, he knows her.
Yeah.
He
Not
knows
only
her.
that, but Russell is the godfather of anti-aging. You know how old he is? He's over.
He's
in his
74.
No, he's in his
82. I'm sorry,
84.
82.
He's in his 80s.
84.
I mean, he's
And he looks like
mind-blowing.
Captain
He's-
America.
Yeah.
I worked with
He's
Russ
like
from
a
another
rock.
company. Everyone knows Russ.
And
Yeah.
and Russell had a friend. He had this gentleman that we were doing business with, and he was like 78 at the time. And he jumps up, and he didn't hit me, but he did a flying kick to my face that his foot hit the ceiling at NN and came back down in a karate pose.
That's right.
And I said, how old are you? And he said, 78. I said, oh my God.
Isn't that incredible?
It was scary incredible. These guys, I mean, they don't age.
Not even, he works out every single day. He gets up every single day and he works out.
And he's built
used
like
to
a...
see him at
He's
the
built,
gym.
yeah, he's huge.
built.
Yeah.
I used to see him. And you guys work together through networking because Jen is the best at networking. Truly. When I first
she's
met
the
her, she was
ultimate
very
female
quiet.
networker.
But she was very quiet. You know, she kind of watched the first time I met you, right? You didn't say very
Not much, yeah.
And then the second time, boom, she's like this blonde bombshell storm. She walks in, she says, we can do this. I got a guy. This is how I market. This is what I do to business cards. This is how I know people are interested. And I went, holy smokes. She's like a blonde Freddie.
A plum Freddie.
A blonde Freddie.
You know, it's funny because a lot of we did an event and everybody came up to us and they actually followed us here and saying, you know, you guys have come from nowhere, which isn't true. And we work
They
at
just
this
didn't know us then.
so many hours a day. And one of the things that I attribute to this is that you can have a great idea, but if nobody can hear it or see it, it's just a great idea. What your ability has given, because we do 28 other shows, you know, and we have spoken to the host about elevating the game. With the summer coming and everything gets a little bit more tight, elevating the game is important. So I understand exactly what he's talking about. I love the way you implement it. The guys on the set, every guy brings a different aspect to elevating the game. Yeah? And this is what I want to do with the women also. I want them to elevate their game. So that, I mean, every year you can change the set. And
Every
bring in-
year, every show.
Every year, you want to do at least a year with the same people so it becomes recognition.
Oh, that's it.
So one of the girls is doing a movie set, and she's asking the producers if we can bombard the movie set. Where is it? In Eustis, Florida?
Eustis.
Eustis. No?
Eustis.
Oh,
Somewhere in
Eustis.
Central Florida, Eustis. Karen Turk is doing a movie called Nearly Departed.
Ah.
So she's one of the stars in Nearly Departed, and they're filming in Eustis starting next week. So you want to go on the road?
Yes, and I'm saying
Eustis.
Eustis,
EUS.
Florida. And the name of the movie?
Nearly Departed.
I'm just plugging in because they watch it, you know what I'm saying.
Karen Turk, Mrs. Florida 2016. She was quite vocal yesterday.
I saw
Right,
that.
she was.
I was like, you go, girl. Yeah.
She was quite vocal. She's another Jersey girl with you.
And she's in Chicago.
I'm thinking the Jersey girls.
She got a gig. She's in Chicago. She was supposed to do Tell Us Your Biz, and she's flying out to Chicago, so she can't do it. So Tom is going to do it, but she's flying out. So you got another thing to do.
Jersey
So,
girls.
unbelievable.
And you have a book or two.
Right.
A
I
book
just
or two.
wrote my new book, Ultimate Networking: How to Get Anything You Want by Your Network or Through Your Network. In fact, I also tell people your net worth equals your network. Because if
Oh,
you
that's
think about the
interesting.
10 people that you spend the most time communicating with every month, if you add up their average income, your income's probably somewhere in there, in that range. So in other words, if you're hanging out with Bloomberg and Gates and Donald Trump, or whether you like him or not, if you're hanging out with that crowd, your income's probably up at their level. So it's just something to think
So how do I get that level? How do I get those friends? How do I find
you
those
have to
people?
develop what I have on the bottom banner is performance tracking. This
Okay.
is not only a book, but it's a workbook, because most people read books, go to seminars, listen to Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, but they don't do anything, okay? Education is great to study something, but if you don't implement it, it doesn't mean anything.
That's right,
Just like what you were
implementation.
talking about earlier.
Yep.
You have to get the exposure of the information, then you have to write down, okay, what am I going to do? And what I have in the book
Okay.
is an assessment. As a networker, how do you rank yourself? In fact, this was interesting. I always thought I was about on a scale of 1 to 10 an 8 as a networker. I'm outgoing, I can talk to anybody, I go everywhere, I know lots of people. After I wrote the book and took my own assessment, I downgraded to a 6. So I thought to myself, if I'm a 6,
Yeah.
where does that put
That's
most
what I'm
other
thinking.
people?
At 2, where I am, I'm a 2.
3 or 4.
I'm a 2.
So I'm actually improving my own self, okay, by using my own strategies and principles. But you have to do it in a repetitive manner. You have to write down what you want to do, and then you have to look at it almost every day. If you want to, you have to have some system, and you have to start to implement these strategies. If you don't do that, again, reading the book means nothing. People shake their head, yeah, that's great, George. Are you doing it? You have to do it.
If you don't do it, it's a waste. It's like
It's
I
a
tell
waste.
my hosts, if you do a show and you go home, you go to sleep, and you don't implement and up the game, it's a waste.
Well, your posts, they want to get paid a lot of money.
Well,
They think
everybody
you should
wants to
pay
get
them.
everybody wants to get paid. You got to earn your stripes. You know, So you got to put the uniform on. You got to get the stripes. Now, I got a couple of questions, psychological questions. Some people tell me that they don't up the game because they're afraid. You ever heard that old saying, "I want you to be successful, just not too successful"? So people become, I don't want to be bigger than the game. I don't want it to seem like I'm over the top. I'm going to be humble
Can I throw the duck at you now?
I want to be humble, but I want to be successful. Those two things don't match.
Well, I mean, everybody has their own idea of what success is. Some's financial, some is emotional, some is physical. So you have to decide yourself what means success. And that gets into a whole nother realm. In fact, I just did a presentation at a happiness club up in Palm Beach. And after the event, I did a presentation about how to use your network to socialize and get more people involved and be happier. And I said to the gal that ran the event, I said, well, how do all these people know if they are happy? Like, let me ask you a question.
Good question.
On a weekly basis, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you?
11.
11. Okay.
You probably
You're over the
are.
top. You're
I
too
am.
much.
I have a party wherever I go. They give me this to slow
you
me
11
down.
too?
They're slowing me down with this stuff because they say I'm a little too hype.
You're drinking happy.
He's drinking. He
That's
is drinking
why.
happy.
There you go.
But
Right, 'cause
I love
happiness-
it.
How
everyone-
happy, you know.
Everyone measures happy on a different level.
Yeah, again, but so that's where the assessment comes in. You have to write down what makes you happy, what makes you successful. Write down the elements and then rate yourself. That's what performance tracking is. Everybody can make their own list, their own assessment. But if you don't assess yourself, how do you know where you're at?
There you go.
You just make a general statement. I'm happy. I'm a good networker. I'm a good father. Well, what does that mean, a good father? Based on what? You know, fact check. So this is what I'm all into. I used to be
I
an
like
engineer for 18 years at General Motors. So I'm very logical, and I don't like a lot of fluff and a lot of BS. I like to get to the point. And that's, you know, get to the
Are
bottom
you from
line.
New York?
No, I'm from Ohio. Youngstown,
Because you
Ohio.
sound you've had as many jobs as you've had.
Oh.
No, he's
like
had
I
more.
said,
I think he's
I've
got
had-
you by a couple years.
But you know,
multiple careers.
but the funny thing is that sometimes I get bored. I used to get bored real easy, so I had a lot of jobs. And sometimes I like learning. And you know something? If the game is that you're going to make a living at something, you're going to learn it, right?
True.
You got to pay your bills. If you don't pay your bills, then you won't learn it.
Because we've been doing this for a long time, and we have many health coaches and solopreneurs that come forward, and they say, I need to go to another Tony Robbins, or I'm going to this conference. Do you know how much money, they say, we've spent this year in self-improvement? And we said, well, why can't you invest back in yourself? Tony Robbins is wonderful, but why is everyone giving all of these other people all of their money?
Exactly.
And so I like your workbook because it's taking it back on you. Instead of just listening, reinvest in yourself.
Yes, that's
Analyze what you're
exactly it.
doing.
Right. Where are you now, and what do you need to get to whatever level you want to achieve? You want to be a millionaire? You want to just have a happy relationship? I mean, what is it that you want? So these are all things that people have to sit down and analyze and assess. And again, you have to have these tools, and that's what I'm looking to help people do.
Have you looked through the book?
I actually own the book, but I will say this: as George was writing the book, so he would like show me some stuff in the book.
So you've
what he
known
was
George
gonna
for a
do.
while.
About a year.
Yeah,
about a year. I haven't lived in Florida that long, so it took me a while to get my network going. But he would sit down and he would say, "This is in the book. This is how I'm going to use it." And the one thing that I love is when you sit with someone and you do a meeting, you take out a piece of paper, because bam, psychologically, now you mean business. And you're writing stuff down. And when you write down, I will call you tomorrow at 3, psychologically, people see this written down and they're like, oh,
That's
I
a
get
that's a fantastic.
fantastic. I use it all the time.
Well, in fact, what I teach people to do, and I do, and it's really daunting to some people, they can't believe it. When I do networking now, I take a clipboard and I have a follow-up sheet. And just what Jennifer said, let's say that I meet Dawn and I say, Dawn, okay, let's talk next week. And most time, unless you really write it down, you're not going to talk next week. So I sit there while I'm meeting her, and I say, okay, we're going to talk next week. I'm going to call you Monday. And she sees me write it down. So now she's got to be more accountable to the fact that I am going to call her, and we're going to set up a meeting. And it's like, wow, this person's really serious about this conversation. And again, one of the parts of networking that people are really lax at is follow-up. Follow-up is probably the worst thing that most people just don't do. They just don't bother, they don't have the time, they don't have the energy. And they go out to these events and they spend a whole day, but they never follow up. And I go, well, why did you spend the whole day there? You're not doing any work after the fact. So again, networking is follow-up.
Well, tell the story about what happened after the BB&T Center.
Right, Jennifer and I did a big event down at the BB&T Center. And I spoke to at least 15 people that I expressed interest in their product and service, okay? I'm a big networker. I can help them. I even told people, listen, I love your idea. I want to come to your studio or your fitness center. I'll bring some people. After that event, I got not one phone call.
Nobody
Not
followed
one.
up?
No, not one
Nobody.
email or phone call. And I told them I was really interested in what you're doing. And they didn't follow up with me. I was shocked.
I'm not shocked.
But you know what?
No?
Sometimes
I'm
I
not
feel
shocked.
like people are always trying to sell me. I'm always asked to take out my credit card, and I take it out a lot because how many things have we ordered this week? But I
That's
feel
why I'm going to cut your credit card.
cut my credit cards out. But someone's always trying to sell me. So that's when I get leery and say, all right, here comes the big sales pitch again. I don't want to be sold. How do you make it look like you're not selling, that people need what you want instead of you selling them? Because even
Well-
with this, you're giving them an opportunity.
Right. Well, the thing is, what we're trying to teach people to do is when you meet somebody, you do a little casual conversation and say, hey, listen, why are you here and how can I help you? What are you looking for? Money, resources? You're looking for new clients? Maybe I know somebody that I can help you. So you express interest in helping them first before you hit them with your pitch. And then if you do that, most cases the people will say, well, what do you do? And then you can go ahead and do your pitch.
Yeah,
So-
it's interesting because when I was working for John Hancock, I was 20, right out of college. They taught us the Abraham Lincoln method, which is what you're describing with the paper. And Lincoln used to speak that way because insurance is something you can't see. To sell it, you have to conceptualize it so people to their understanding. So I still do it today. It's funny, when I have a meeting, Dawn will bring out paper for me to write on automatically now, because if you're looking at the pen, then I have your attention. If you're not, then we can talk about coffee and everything else. I'll get it eventually. It depends on how long we got, right? So I
Yes,
was,
to keep you focused now, because our meetings can run 2 hours. I give them the paper when we start.
yes, now
Because
she
it
gives
gets-
it to me.
Because
right
we're
from the
having this
beginning.
about this much time in a meeting sometimes.
Well, you gotta erase it. So the bottom line is, if you're not going to adhere to yourself, if you're not going to push your idea, you're not going to do the follow-up, then what you're doing is you're just feeling good about this stuff. I mean, I've never seen, I met Tony Robbins one time. I went by the room. I didn't go in the room. I wasn't going to pay that. I wasn't, because the way I look at it is, we're in the production business and we do all these shows, and I ask people, are you sure you want to sell? Like the Mexican lady, Eminem. You want to sell you? Nobody sells you better than you. I had Norma G. She couldn't sell herself, right? I made her sell me her shoe. Remember that? Right?
do.
There's a story there, and she stayed with me for over a year and a half. And she was a big time deal until she didn't get picked up again. But I made her sell something that is natural to her. So I love the concept. What I'm confused sometimes about is, how do I find what works for individuals? And you have people in this room, and your concept is to bring it, right? To bring it forward. How do we make it so it customizes to him, or does he do it? To him, to her. Everybody has a different deal.
Right.
So how do you recognize that? Because if you're talking to 15 people, how do you recognize it?
Well, there's a couple other tricks. Another way to get somebody's attention toward you is to have a name tag without your name, but it's your product or service. For example,
I
she
love
could
that.
put V-Card. I could put author of Ultimate Networking. So what's somebody going to do? They're going to look and say,
What-
oh, you're an author.
I like
You're
that.
this. So they're asking you a question. They express interest. Another way, this is the best way, is to have a partner. Always go as a team somewhere. Have a wingman, as they say, in the singles world. So that person will introduce you to other people and edify you and tell these people how great you are, and that will express interest or get them to stimulate interest in you. So you're getting somebody else to help introduce you to third parties.
I like that.
It
Teamwork
makes
is
a big
great.
difference. Teamwork makes a huge difference. When we go to events together, we're much more productive than when we go. One of us goes and one of us doesn't
Yes,
go.
there's more strength in numbers. It's one of the reasons we're even developing this thing to get marketing out there as a group. I mean, there's 10 or 11 of us. Who knows how many
Well,
of us?
look how we met Jen through SoFlo. And how do we meet SoFlo? We went as
Tom,
a team,
yeah.
right? We set up our cameras to cover the events, and we met Jen. And Jen has always got a guy for somebody else, but it's through the V card, and you are your product.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we don't even get a chance to even talk about V card as much as we should. You bring on so many great people, we forget to even talk about the V card.
Oh, by the way, let me talk about it a little bit, okay? I have 20 V cards.
20.
Yes, I don't have all-inclusive V cards. I have a V card for every specific item that I have in my repertoire. I have an event V card. I have a V card for myself personally, socially. I have one for my book, one for my game. I have one for different aspects of my business. So when I'm talking to you about my book, I'm only going to send you a V card about my book. You don't need all my other stuff, right? That's what a website has, a conglomeration of links and videos, and people get confused.
Yes.
So if you use it properly, it's called targeted specific content that I'm transferring from my phone to you as we're speaking. So now you have the exact content that I want you to read and see. So that's powerful. The other one is as a referral tool. I have every member of my family, I have a V card. So if I'm talking about my little granddaughter who just won the national gymnastic championships, I can just simply click and send you her V card with all of her videos and events on it. If my sister, my brothers, whoever I want to refer to, I just click and send a V card about them. It's absolutely incredible. You have a referral network of lawyers, of hairdressers, of people in your life. You put them on your V card directory, and then you start referring them to other people instantly.
What a great
It's
idea.
amazing.
So we really need a V card for the cafe.
Well, on my V
Right?
card, it's
Right.
there.
Right. Well, but I think
just gotta make it-
you need a specific one just for this show.
That's what I think.
And
We need
then-
a V card for the cafe.
That's right.
Now we need a V card for the cafe.
I'll give you my credit
Well,
card.
here's the one thing.
Before he cuts it up.
Here's the one thing I love about VCard is you get to control how people see your message and how you receive other messages, and you control it entirely. And one of the things I've seen with our product is sometimes people put entirely too many things. So you go to the menu, you press menu, and then just a conglomerate of things.
And that's
fall
it.
down.
You close
and at
it.
that point, you look at it and you go, "No, I'm
Okay,
good."
I'm good.
Yeah.
And you get lost in it.
Right. Because in marketing, you have about 3 seconds to capture somebody, or they're gone.
True point.
Yeah.
But I love George's idea about all the different, I don't need 20, but all the different venues, because you're right, you go in, you get lost, and people say, go look at my website. And then now I've got this thing where these websites are blocked because people make their own websites. And if they don't have this encryption the right way, Xfinity blocks you because they think it's not safe. But if I just have a V card with their cafe, what do? Boom, here's the cafe, here's the information. You for AMP, you got 28 shows. For someone to find our show on it,
Well,
they gotta, scroll.
it's been a challenge for 10 years about. I don't want AMP to be the host of your show. I want you to be the host of your show. I would love to have it, so I pay to store the video, which is heavy, on different platforms. But I want people like what's her name, Alicia. She has her own app. She did the right thing. She uses her show her own way. I think the way Alicia goes out and markets herself alone, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry, and we're friends, but I agree with you go in numbers. And you can work a room in numbers. You know, a room is a big place. For you to work it by yourself, sometimes a little scary, a little intimidating, and you don't get to everybody.
That's why I love hanging out with Jen, because I could walk into, I don't go to events a lot, and I either go with you or I don't go, because I've learned a woman walking to an event alone, it's not such a good idea. But I could even go with Jen, because Jen is a great second person to go to an event with, because she gets it, it's business, it's not two women, it's business, it is what it is. And you know what we do, I know what you do, and it's perfect to go in with a wingman, a wingwoman.
So we go to events a lot together. George will say, I have this event, can you come? Let's do it together.
Yeah.
We've definitely talked about even the power of having like a male and a female together.
I didn't
so
want to
you
say that
can-
because people think I was sexist, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah, no, it's just because then now you can hit a bigger market.
Yes.
And
Well,
it's-
there are
I don't
doors
think
that
it's
you
sexist. I think
there are
it's
doors that you
reality.
open that
Yeah,
he
yeah.
can't, and there are doors that he's going to open that you
Yeah.
can. So that's just business.
Right.
Right. So yeah, like two pretty gals together might create a different type of environment.
Yes.
But you know, pretty gal and a guy, you know, it buffers all that kind of stuff, that sexist stuff. So you really can get to business. And you know, if you know, she relates to the guys better than I do, and I maybe relate to some females better than she does. So it's really a good combination to have a guy-girl thing.
Yep. And I wanted to talk a little bit about when you get to platforms and you grow your platforms into different stuff. I mean, we do media, and every day I'm looking for another challenge. And I fought with my son because I thought it was a millennial idea with the podcast. Guilty. 5 years, Gio stopped throwing bananas at me. It's true. I said no. I didn't want AMP to go down this road. But holy smokes, this thing has taken a life of its own. I mean, this program that he found is putting us on like 16 different podcasts. So there's no way you can't find us.
Gio's been incredible.
So the growth within the sphere is another important aspect. How do you know what's the right method to grow your business? Do you do social media? Do you do real TV, real radio? Do you invest money to make it bigger. It's louder better.
Just to let you know, I'm a part owner of the largest radio streaming or second largest radio streaming company called Sirius Streaming. We stream radio stations all around the world.
Yeah, we heard of
That's another
Sirius.
thing we could talk about.
Yeah, we need to talk about
Yeah,
that.
but anyway, the whole idea is that you have to pick your poison. There's so many different marketing platforms. You just have to pick a certain group and just focus on them and learn how to use those effectively, because there's so much out
But there's the key. Learn how to use it, and then implementation. We're back to that again, right?
Focus is a big point also.
I also think you have to track it. So you need to be able to track what you're doing and track if it's working for you.
How do you sleep at night? I mean, I can see your mind. When I first met you, I was exhausted. I went home and took a nap.
Well, tracking, right? You get home, you're working until midnight, and then you're going to go. It's like, tracking things. Who has time to go look at the analytics? That's why she blows me away. It's like she just has this tech mind of the analytics.
That's because you can't boil water.
I know. Every time she does.
Neither can I,
Well,
by the
I
way.
will tell you, so VCAR Global has made this even easier for you, is we track the analytics for you.
Oh, you got to
So-
just hit a button?
That's exactly right. All you have to do is hit a button, because we have an analytics button, so you can see who saw your card, who was on your card, how long they were on your card, what page they were on, who they passed your card to.
Really?
And you can track what event you were at. That was this a successful event or was it not? So SoFlo, very successful event. I can see people from SoFlo who got my card, who looked at my card, and then who followed up. Some other events, not so successful. I look at it and I'll see nobody opened my card. So we do it for you.
So
Wow.
let's try it right now. I'll show you how it works. Okay, this is my new book. All you have to do, folks, get your smartphone out, okay, and go to your smartphone and text GD, my initials, to 80800.
GD.
GD.
That's it.
All
2
you have
letters.
to do. Right. So all the listeners out there, if they go to their smartphone and they simply text
Let's try it
GD,
out.
go ahead, try it out. GD to
GD.
80800, and it'll pop up. And basically, whether it's 5,000, 10,000, or a million people listening, if they do it, not only will they get my content, but I will get your phone numbers when I go home. How's that? Pretty amazing.
There it is. View my V card.
That's
Yep,
right.
click it on, and it opens
Pops
up.
right open. It's that fast.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the best
And
part
there it
is,
is. Business consultant.
you can go on to George's card and you can buy this book.
Right.
You've heard what he said and you heard how it works. You could be like,
Look at
I
that.
need it now. Boom, you can buy
Right.
it.
You can order
Buy
it
it
right
right
there
there.
on the
And then all
card.
I have to do is click on the card.
Right.
Right.
And because I don't have V card login yet, I just click it up and I can say, all right,
Absolutely.
download the information.
Right.
Right.
Boom.
Email me, call me. Amazing.
Yeah, it'll download all my contact information into your phone directory, whether you have a V card or not.
Right.
Download it, share it.
Right.
Wow, incredible.
I know.
Yep.
So
That's
easy to
instant
do.
marketing.
Was the phone
So-
number again?
It's 80800, and then the message is GD, just 2 letters, and then send.
Then you
And
just
it'll
hit
open
save and there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Yeah,
Incredible.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And the app is so smart that it'll recognize that on your phone you don't have this app. So it'll prompt you to download the app, which then you get prompted to create in 5 minutes a really nice free V card. It's 1 page and you can put your picture, your logo, your website, click to call, click to text, click to email. There's no analytics attached to the free card, but the free card is so cool. So now you can push out the free card to people so you can get your message out digitally, because this is the digital age. This is what's happening. If you don't if you don't market digitally, man, you're
Right.
you're
Yeah,
lost.
everything's
you're
going
behind.
to the smartphone.
That's it.
You know, first we had the internet, then we had social media, and now it's all morphing
Mm-hmm.
to this, because this is what everybody carries with them. Nobody goes home without their smartphone.
No,
or
I
leaves
think
home
I'm on
without
my
their
phone
smartphone.
as much as my kids, which is truly unbelievable.
Right.
I shop through my phone all the time. Like, that's got to
I knew
stop.
I liked
Actually,
her. Freddie, you want her credit card too?
You know, the funny thing is, when 80800,
Mm-hmm.
I have all these V card guys and girls on there. So when yours is on there, I see all the people that
Everything
I've been
you downloaded?
and they're all downloading because I use it. You know, I'm
Right.
using it. We're bringing a guy who does the shirts and stuff. He's going to come on as well.
Well,
It's kinda
okay,
cool.
here's another usage. Okay, if you do the same number, 80800, and put in the word Authors Night, you'll see an event that I have coming up. So in other words, again, targeted specific, just an event, and that's on the V card. So if you go Authors Night to 80800, It pulls it up. You can RSVP. You'll see who's at the event, what's happening. So again, I have all these targeted specific V cards.
When is your event? Let's talk about it.
That's May 21st in Kendall. I'm going to have an author. I have local authors nights where I invite authors, myself and other people, to come and share their story, why they wrote the book, what's the benefit of the book, and then
All
the book
different
signing.
authors. We actually
we have lots.
And
of
here's how
different
our world is very coincidental. As you look at me like that, guess who's watching our show right now?
Steve.
Dr. Dora. We're talking authors.
Author. Steve
Dr.
is an
Dora.
author.
What did Steve write?
He wrote, I have 12 children.
I don't think he wrote that.
He's texting me, says, I'm
But
okay. You okay too, Steve?
We have a client, Dr. Dora. Dora's Vilk. Dora Shapiro. She wrote a trilogy. And it's really 50 Shades of Grey meets Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
She's a retired dentist, and Dr. Dora is amazing. So she could come to your author's night?
Yeah, well, tell her to contact me.
Dr. Dora,
she has
contact
my V
him.
card. And I'm also setting up an author speakers bureau. It's a speakers network. I'm just developing it. So anybody that's an author or speaker out there, contact me, and I'll tell you how you can get involved and participate.
We have a few authors.
Well, we have the gal that just sat yesterday that wrote my life story, not knowing me.
Right.
It was a world of magic
Samantha.
with unicorns and
Samantha.
pixie
Oh, you
dust.
love that, right?
And yes, exactly.
Samantha also.
Caption.
But we have a lot of authors. I got a show that is all authors, and they come in
Okay.
and they read and everything else.
Yeah.
See,
that's
the
great.
problem is that God only gave us 24 hours a day.
Oh, sing
I need 26, 28 hours because I run out of time. And I'm trying to up this game, and I'm trying to produce the companies that we have as well. And there's just not enough hands to do this. Now, I'm like a kid in a candy store. And Linda, my apologies. All weekend I spent doing this podcasting. I didn't know that if you talk to Siri, I can be on podcast. If I had known that, Gio, I would have done it 10 years ago. So there just isn't enough time. But the V card makes it so easy.
It does. And even when we bring guests on the show, what I do with Dawn is I just forward the V card of the guest that's coming on the show. So in a glimpse, and then I forward them your card as well. So in a glimpse, everybody knows what's going on. You've communicated with people you don't even know because now they get a sense of who you are by just looking at your cards.
It's true.
Yeah.
When I have to do my post every day, normally I'm going through social media, and I don't know what the guest looks like. Oops, there goes my ring. I don't know. It broke. I don't know what the guest looks like. So we had a guest yesterday. No idea what it looked at. So I had to go through all these different social media outlets to find who this person was. You made it so easy.
And
I can get my pictures, my posts, the book. I know exactly who you are, what you look like when you walk into the studio. And it's fantastic for networking.
Yeah,
And-
it's the ultimate mobile marketing tool,
Fact.
I call it. I'm the ultimate networker, and I should know, right? And that's the ultimate mobile marketing tool to refer other people, to help people refer you instantly over the mobile phone, without a doubt.
Well, how can
Everybody
people
get
get you
it.
for author's night?
Well, just go to my V card, and you'll have the information. on it.
80800 authors.
Authors Night,
Okay.
that's it.
Authors night with a S.
Yes.
All right. What
Authors
other
Night.
businesses? You have 20. We have 18
Actually, I
more
have
to
a
cover.
sex game. I don't like to bring it up too much because people are sensitive. But it's
Dr.
called
Dora,
sex-
you might like that
It's
one
called
too.
sexualityprobegame.com. I also have another game called Reality Game, a reality probe game, and I've invented games. I've written books. Like I said, I have multiple careers.
What's the reality
ideas.
game?
The reality game is like, say we're all sitting around playing the game. I would ask a question of everybody, like, if you won $1 million lottery, what would you do with the money? So you would all write your answers. I'll collect them, mix them up, and read them back, and we all try to guess who said
Who
what.
said what?
I
Yeah.
think that'd be a fun show
That
to
would
do.
be
It is.
such a
You know,
good
I
show.
have an idea. We can take all the games that you have and put it on the guys and gals
That's what I'm thinking.
and use it as different subject matter and give credit across
And
to
even the sex game, if
creator.
we do a little cleaner, we can have Michelle Spears bring her Pure Romance and
That's
do part of
another
that.
one.
yeah.
Well, it's really, it doesn't have to necessarily be about sex. It could be love, romance, dating, all that kind
That
of
would be a
stuff.
fun
Well,
show
I-
to do
Yeah.
too, right?
When I got a show called Sex Talk, it's at 9:00 at night with the Siegel brothers. I'm
Okay.
gonna hook up with them, and they're gonna love this thing because they're off
Well,
the wall anyway.
I'll send you guys, they're downloadable games. They're not in boxes.
Really?
It's
See, them
simply
better.
instructions.
Again,
and
digital.
I'll send you guys copies.
Oh, we
of the
can
games.
have fun
It'd
with
be
that.
so much fun to do. We talk about all the time creating a Brooklyn Cafe game, but we could do reality game day, a game, right?
We could do guy v girl.
Guy v. girl.
Guy versus girl. We keep, that's
Guy
we gotta
v.
keep
girl.
that. With the
Guy
V
v. girl.
specific.
My mind went that way.
Everybody's does with the
In,
V.
in fact, I'm working. In fact, you guys would be good candidates to be in my demo. I'm going to shoot a celebrity probe game, kind of like the old Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
Only you have a panel of celebrities, okay, and you ask them a question, and they write their answers, and then the contestants try to guess which celebrity said what. It could be a funny answer, a real
Oh, that's
answer,
That'd be
or whatever.
hilarious.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So I'm putting that whole thing together.
Chuck Lorre
too.
over here.
But I think a game, we talk about it all the time, doing a game with the guys and girls, Steve-O, and all the girls watching. There you go. There's your content.
Hey, Coach, we got games.
Yo, Kitchen Nick.
I
With
know.
Coach Nick, we got a
I
game.
know. It's funny. And we're doing all this also to raise money for charities and things of that nature and for awareness to businesses. So we sort of want to keep it straight up.
But we have a lot of authors. We've got a lot of businesses, a lot of networking. We network here, and then it's the follow-up. That's exactly what it is, and it takes time.
Yeah.
And I wish I could teach people more to follow the importance of doing it and being relentless on it. Sometimes, I mean, listen, not every idea has works.
But, you know, sometimes you have to slow down to go forward. Like today, when you said you wanted Nick to set up the pack. But I knew I wanted to train Nick here. So Freddie actually had to sit down for 30 minutes. That was hard. And you went, now. But look how good it is, because we had to slow down a little bit, teach him. The other guys came, and now it all comes together instead of you running around in all these different places.
Well, like I said, I wish God had given me more hours in the day
Or a few
because
more hands.
we're putting together something remotely where you're able to bring people into the show like a Facebook deal. That's simple. Everybody in America has a phone and they go like this and Facebook pops up. Now you could do split screen on Facebook. I got to see that yesterday. Again, simple. But to put that on a radio show is tricky. Because if it's an AM sound, okay, FM, the frequency is higher, so it becomes more tricky. So what we've done is we came up with a program that allows you to stream right into the radio station and splits it here. So you're doing both at the same time, wirelessly.
Well, you do radio streaming, so you guys have a whole nother conversation to have.
Exactly, and we're
You have
doing
the V
it.
card for that too?
Yeah. Well, I have a whole website for that.
Well, it's an interesting concept because when we started to do streaming, when I started doing streaming 10 years ago, nobody knew what the hell I was doing. And I went to, in 2012, I got to interview Obama and all these guys up in North Carolina, and we did it with a T-Rack, which is a little micro
A
computer.
Teradeck?
Teradeck. And people were telling me, what is that? And I said, none of your business. I mean, I wasn't going to give it away,
This is
right?
big.
It was this big.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And it streamed. It streamed live. There was no Facebook at the time, but it went to websites, and people were jamming up the websites. And Jeff Santos, God bless America, he helped me put this thing off. So we've grown now because I'm trying to stay ahead of the loop. I mean, we've beta for Facebook, and we love what they're doing, but we're going in a different direction because the small business owner, I Got It Guys, everybody, if we go to visit them, and we interview them and we put them on different shows, the cost becomes less, becomes more manageable because you're talking about the businesses while you're handing it out and doing it. So the guys are out there trying to put this thing together. All week it's failed for one reason or another. We got it to work yesterday
Today
finally.
it's going to work. I say wish wisely, and it shall work.
And we blew a television screen.
but
We
not
blew a
today.
screen.
Today it's going to be up.
Yeah, it'll be up. No, it'll work. It'll work. So anyway, that's the logical thinking of tomorrow, as they say.
And it's good. And Jen always has somebody. What's the next event you guys are going to, promoting? What's up next?
June 7th, we're going to be at the Bahia Mar. Excuse me. We're going to have a special grouping of ultimate speakers, I call them. Jen's going to be one, myself. I have some other speakers coming in, teaching people how to take their business to the next level, whether they're a business owner, author, speaker. It'll be June 7th at the Bahia Mar, sponsored by the Broward Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, very cool.
What
Having a
time's
big
it at?
event. It's going to be 3 to 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And I'll definitely send you that. I just got the information, so I don't even have a V card for it yet. We're just putting it together.
Not yet.
But yeah,
It'll happen.
so
It's a coming.
yeah,
Yep.
it's coming. But yeah, so that'll be our next big event, and then my author's night in Kendall, which will be the 21st. So we have a whole bunch of things coming up.
That's amazing because the author we had the other day that wrote this children's book called Rainbow Crystal, she's going to be at Books and Books down in Kendall. Or
On the
Coral Gables,
21st.
on the Memorial Day. I think it's the
20th.
28, something like that. So she's going to be
No, I
down
think
there.
it's the
Books and Books.
Tuesday.
We've got Dr. Doerr. We've got Barbara Swanson that wrote the book.
Yes.
Beyond Food, Beyond Nutrition.
And Dr. Dora, we put this whole campaign together with those handcuffs over there are part of her read the book with your lover weekend. So you handcuff yourself to your lover all weekend, and then we have people who put in foods and all that stuff. And it was kind of interesting when people were saying, "Hey, Freddie, I sort of kind of handcuffed myself to my lover all weekend. I'm getting divorced."
You handcuff yourself to your computer all weekend, I think. But the V card, check out the V card. How do they download it? How can they get their free one to start?
So if you want your freebie card, I think the best thing to do is to go to My Virtual Card, because all the explanations of what the V card is right there.
Okay.
And there's videos, and if you want to see how to quickly make a card, so go to your text function to the number 80800. In the message box, text JENNG.
That's what we call you now, by the way.
Gen G, I know.
You call it Genji, I call it Teach.
I call her
That's
Gen
right.
G. It's so much easier. It just fits, right?
Yeah, and it's so easy. So when you scroll down the card, because people, this is such cutting edge technology, you can scroll down the card, and at the very bottom of the card, it'll say get a V card. You press that, and then it'll ask you some information. For the free V card, the app is free. The free V card, we don't ask you for anything. You know how some places say it's free, but can we have your credit card information? We don't do that.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
I don't get it either.
Download the V card. You just downloaded it?
I went on.
Oh, good.
okay.
Awesome.
It took me to.
All right.
Yeah,
There
good.
you go.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
And
See how that?
it's funny because now when I ask people, "Do you have a V card?" They go, "What?" And I go, "What?" So it's the opposite. I never heard of a V card.
We didn't.
Now I tell people, you gotta have it. You have a business, you got a V card. Come on, you gotta have this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's an amazing tool.
Well,
also to communicate.
one thing we didn't bring up, okay, if people have your V card and you change anything on it, it automatically changes the whole system. Anybody that has it, if your email address, phone number, anything, it automatically changes it on your phone.
Amazing.
So
And that's important.
Instant update.
Instantly update, because you think of how many times, let's say, you change your email address or you change where you are, and now you have to go and get all these cards printed up. So now you have 500 cards
They're
that
useless.
are useless.
Useless.
Plus, the cards aren't interactive. When I first met you guys, I came on the first time, I brought all these cards, and they're all thrown away at this point because I don't know who these people are. I don't even remember where I met them. So unless you want to go home from an event and write down, met Dawn at SoFlo Mixers, great talk, we'll follow up, blah, 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 blah.
You have
doing
no
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Download your V card, 80800. Put in Gen G, JENNG, for all the information on how to do it. For more information on George, 80800. This one's easy, GD.
There you
How
go.
easy is that? It's like
That's
taking
2
me
letters.
back to the story that you told me.
And don't tell me you're gonna forget 2 letters. Even I can remember
Stay
that.
tuned for our next hour. We're going to be on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Our stream is still rolling. We've got Humpty Dumpty on the set. Find Your Missing Piece, PEACE, with Clive Digby. We will be back in 2 and 2.
Which is 4.
Be right back.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow. Look at your eye. What a difference.
And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one, for sure.
hydration, absorption,
Feel silkier.
and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow. Crazy. Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
The Heart of Delray Gallery, located in the Delray Art Complex, is one of South Florida's top venues for art, culture, music, and private events. The Heart of Delray Gallery is a cutting-edge, 11,000 square foot art exhibition showcasing local artists and artisans with the highest quality of talent and vision, highlighting South Florida's creative arts. Visit us at the Heart of Delray Gallery, 1440 North Federal Highway in Delray Beach. Come, take a tour, book your next private event or fundraiser, or join us for Art Walk the first Friday of every month from 6 to 11 p.m. For more information, give us a call at 561-278-0074. Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true. Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you
What would Mom love for Mother's Day? Not old tired chocolates or wilted flowers. How about the gift of 20 years off her appearance? JJ Dental is offering a Mother's Day special. Botox, just $10 per unit. Juvederm, buy one syringe, get one 50% off. Call 954-491-1904 and give Mom the gift of youth for Mother's Day. Great for wives, too. 954-491-1904.
Now you can get Talk 1470 WNN on 95.3 FM too. Loud and clear. Health and Wealth Radio, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Well, it's 1 o'clock, and the Brooklyn Cafe is
Spots are
open
going to
for
play,
business.
Don. They'll play after the open.
The team is ready to serve you a huge portion of fun for lunch. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought, take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe, and get ready to enjoy the humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of feel-good and happy soup to help your day go easier and enjoy your break with others around you. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. The feel-good food you need to help that bagel go down nice and smoothly. If you have a story to share, anything that happened at work, play, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you today, call in toll-free 888-565-1470 right now. So sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe and let Dawn and Freddie S. get your happy juices flowing. Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Science has confirmed that real health comes from raw, organic, and wild foods. Essentials is a complete program of 5 products to help your body function as nature intended. Premium Ancient Superfood Algae offers energy and stamina. Food-based digestive enzymes help prevent occasional heartburn and may reduce stress from processed foods and heavy metals. Our proprietary probiotics help support immune health, regulate bowels, and eliminate toxins. Improve your mood, mental clarity, focus, faster rejuvenation, and better sleep. Order now at eatessentialsnow.com. Essentials, life-enhancing ingredients in the palm of your hand. eatessentialsnow.com.
This is Alyssa, the Paint Girl. Car accidents happen. Get the most affordable, convenient, superior vehicle repair with concierge service. The Paint Girl provides pickup and delivery with no additional cost. Our body shops have over 30 years combined experience. The Paint Girl handles all makes, models, lease return repairs, and insurance claims. Your smart choice for vehicle repair? The Paint Girl. Call 954-691-7024. That's 954-691-7024.
What Humpty Dumpty's going to read is the Missing Piece book. This is the Clive Digby book.
Right.
You've got George's book.
I got George's
book. That was
book.
our first hour.
Wait, hold on a second.
Look at the set.
I want to introduce this book, and then we'll get to that in a second. But this book also was given to us by George Dubac. He even signed it. Look at that. The Ultimate Influence Worker. This is
Networking
brilliant.
Authors Night. Any more information if you want on George Dubac? He was on our first hour with Gen G and the V card. You can text their V card 80800. For Gen G, put in JENNG if you want your own virtual card. And for networking information, 80800, put in GD for George Dubac.
That's it.
Amazing information. You can, as I said before, rewind, watch the first hour. For this hour, though, you can find us at the Brooklyn Cafe TV on Facebook, Periscope, and our new YouTube page. Also, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Let's give Joe a happy Friday. Give him a call. 888-565-1470. Say, hey, Joe. Joe, we got Humpty Dumpty for you today. How'd you like that song, Freddie? Did you like that?
Who put that together?
What do you think?
That was.
Did you like that?
I love it.
Now, I got a lot of questions. You know, I love authors that come into studio, and they bring pieces like this. There was an author who had a children's book, and she came to me, and I wanted to have the characters dress up at an event that we did, and she didn't do it. And there was over 350 people at the event. Remember that event in Meisner Park?
Yes.
And she wouldn't listen to me, but I never thought in a million years that this would work. You could do finger puppets
It's a
for
great
those
idea.
characters. This is unbelievable.
But when you talk networking, how we even met Clive was through Noah Crane, through her Conscious Co-op event that we covered. And we met Noah through Deb Varsalone, who was the ultimate networker of Deborah's size. And in walks Noah, who collects souls like we do in our ARC. And Noah comes, has this amazing show and an incredible event. Every month is Conscious Co-op. This month is coming up in a couple weeks. It's on May 24th, Thursday at Farmer's Table. You can get the information on her Facebook page at Conscious Co-op. You should really come. They're renting out the entire ballroom. We'll be there again streaming.
Yes.
Hopefully we're streaming. If not, we'll be recording.
No,
We
we're
were there at the
streaming
last
or
event,
recording, yeah.
And we met Clive Digby. Digby or Digby Jones?
Digby Jones.
Clive Digby Jones. We met him there. And then you were on Noah's show last night, which was incredible. And we have some special offers to offer out on the radio, so we're going to get that going. But networking is so crucial. You don't even realize what you're doing, and it's always about the follow-up. And I have to say, follow-up makes me really nervous because you have that rejection on the other end of the phone. What if they don't answer? What if they don't know what to say? What do you say? But I'm telling you, persistence, and you keep going, and Clive Digby Jones is with us. I wish you had brought your partner, but next time she can walk around the gallery.
Yes, I apologize. She's on the phone to Europe as we speak. So.
Did you get a chance to look around, though?
Yes, I did.
It's a beautiful gallery,
Fantastic.
right?
I've taken a picture of Einstein to show her because that's her favorite person in the world.
Well, there's the big Einstein when you walk in the gallery, and Jay Harmon just did a pencil of Einstein. Did you see it in his room?
Yes.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
You're having fun with Humpty Dumpty?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out how to
How
put
old
him
are you?
on. 16.
You know what happens if he falls down? If he sits on a wall,
I catch him.
all the king's horses and all the king's men put Humpty Dumpty together again.
It's amazing. How old are you? There you go.
That I know nursery rhymes?
How you
That's
like me
very
now?
cute. I
How you
love
like
our
me?
set. Who gets to do this, by the way?
Now, the amazing thing, ladies and gentlemen, and
our
thank you for
sick
tuning
Rose.
in. The amazing thing is this gentleman I met last night,
Yes.
and you told me an amazing story right before we went on the air about finding a marketer and somebody involved, because what you have here is out of the box thinking.
Yes. This is a guy who helped me launch my first business. And it was, at the time, I was a consultant in innovation. And he helped me polish up my exterior, as it were. So I was presented to the world. I did a study of Walt Disney for the Disney University, and I learned a lot of tricks of the trade. But what I didn't learn was how to really present myself. So I was, when I was very little, walking like a tin soldier. And I became successful in business. You know, I was listening to the guy who was just talking and how successful he is and everything else, and I'm thinking, yes, I could put myself out like that. I used to put myself out like that, but I didn't feel very much on the inside. I was, you know, very strong.
And we talked, one of the things he asked, he did a happiness workshop on what makes you happy.
Yes.
And it's an assessment, because what makes you happy and fulfilled is different than what makes someone else. And you look at this checklist, and is it money?
Yes.
Is it family? And you say you just didn't feel it on the inside.
Yeah.
But you were successful in business.
That's right. I had all the measures, but I was missing something. So the missing piece is about how Eileen Watkins Seymour, my partner, 27 years, and I help people find their missing pieces.
But it's piece, and you spell it different. So Shel Silverstein wrote a book called The Missing Piece, P-I-E-C-E.
Right.
Yours is different. It's P-E-A-C-E. We're looking at the missing piece. What is missing piece?
So the missing piece, I have to really go back to energy. We are all made of energy. You know, the scientists tell us we're made of energy. We're supposed to have the equivalent of 30 megatons of energy in our bodies if it could all be released.
I think you do.
I got 36.
36?
36 megatons.
Okay, well, I took it down for rounding. I didn't want to be too much. And when you come into the world, extruded into this compressed form of white light, you then come up against your parents, you come up against the world, and if you're lucky, you are still, if you see a baby smile and the warmth of that, you can feel it. However, if you bump up against things, against hurt, against abuse, then you pull back in. Your energy, it's like it implodes. So in my case, my birth was a very difficult one, and I did some rebirthing once and found that my feet were locked. They were locked from the point that I was born, because my mother's energy in her body was totally locked, and I had taken that on.
Were you born feet first?
I wasn't. I was actually born head first and was trapped around the chest, which is I'll come on to that later. So, so my first entrance into the world was of a very tight, very held situation. I'm now 2 years old, and I'm in a park. We had a nanny, so I'm from a English line of public schools, and it's a different growing up. And as a little boy, I was in the sandpit, and I was crying. So my nanny came over and said, "Come on, dear, you're frightening your mother. Stop crying." Okay. So I screamed. So then my mother comes over and she says, "Let's go and see the rabbits, and get rid of it." So now I've got a feeling in me that I was sad and lonely, and I was told to squash it. So I took my fist and I pushed down that feeling of sadness. I'm now at a child's party, age 4, and there's an obnoxious little girl whose party it is, and she says something mean, and I clock her. I decked her, Her father then came and told me the facts of life, and now the anger that had come up from this little place was pushed down. So through life, I go on doing that until I become the adult in my young 20s, and I'm invincible. Nothing can touch me. So I'm walking through life. What I have inside me is a frozen, like an onion, with layers of the onion inside me.
Of things that you have pushed down or
Yes.
suppressed?
Yeah. So part of me went into put itself in safekeeping. Part of me created layers around
Of protection,
as
which
protection.
we all do.
Yeah, which we all do. And to the point that I no longer felt what actually had happened to me or the hurt. I had left it behind. And so I was able to be in the world. Well, 2 marriages later,
Talk about suppression.
Or depression.
Or depression.
I'm actually on my 4th, but anyway, we won't go there just yet.
Well, I think you ain't pushed hard enough.
Yeah. I realized that my relationship with my children was distant, and so I started going on a journey to find myself. One of my sons said, "Dad, when you found yourself, can you remember you've got children living in England?" But anyway, I went on a journey, went to America. I did all sorts of awareness programs. I went to Tony Robbins. I spent the money. I actually spent a lot more money with an organization called Insight, which I ran in San Francisco for a while. So I went through every stage of the personal development. Then I got to the maintenance stage, the management stage, self-management. So now I'm saying affirmations, I'm meditating.
Which I think a lot of people do when they say, all right, I'm going to put in the universe. We talked about it the first hour. I'm going to better myself. I'm going to go to these events and networking. And they manifest.
Yeah.
And they tell me they're going to meditate on it and they're going to pray on it. But you have to take some action. You just can't meditate and pray and expect it to come.
No, and what I found was that actually all of that middle stage of the maintenance, the reading books and everything else was, but had become an obsession. I was obsessed with it, and I didn't seem to be getting any further. And then somebody told me about a course for neurolinguistic programming, NLP. And I don't know if you've had anybody on talking about it, but it's finding out the subjective processing, the way you process, not the content of what happened to you, but how did you hear, how did you feel, how did you sense and see, and how it's stored in the body. And it teaches you that you can start to change your programming. And at that time I was traveling around the world helping companies develop new products, new services. So I was interested in how could I help them change.
Is it how we change how we look at things?
Change how we look at things, how we think about it. You know, it says that if you always think about something the same way as you've always done, you're never going to invent something new.
Well, it's
So-
like you always say, why is it so easy to be negative first instead
Correct.
of positive?
Yeah.
Why do we fall back as a default on negative feelings and positive feelings?
We tend to go with what we know, and if we've built up a pattern of self-protection through not taking risks, because all our experience tells us that I can get hurt, it doesn't work, or whatever.
Well, you don't want to play not to lose. You want to play a game to win. And a lot of people actually play not to lose. And what happens is that people give you advice to protect yourself constantly over and over again. But that isn't your energy. You know, I'm looking at the missing piece. The missing piece allows you, if you believe in you and you bring that forward, it doesn't matter what anybody says.
Right.
That's the hard part, because we have a tendency of listening to everything around us. We have a tendency of becoming like everybody else says, well, you know, don't get too big, don't get this, watch out for this. So all of a sudden you're protecting yourself from the whole world, and you're playing not to win, not to lose.
Not to lose.
You're playing not to lose.
So yes, and with the NLP, I met Eileen. She was running courses in the London Business School. And I started to find that there were places in me that were numb. And I started with her help to explore and to go on an inner journey And I think the third session...
And what does she do?
She is a psychotherapist, UK registered psychotherapist, Doctor of Science now.
We're going to get her here eventually.
Yes, she will come. She likes to do the work, she says, and not so much talk about
So
it.
she's finding the puzzle and she's figuring out the pieces on
Yes.
this thing. Now, is this approach the same for everybody?
It's suitable for everybody. We've seen people as young as 6, as old as 89. We've seen couples, individuals. Each person has a different journey to take on the inside.
Okay.
And this was the thing I discovered was I was trying to do everything on the outside to, I became a Jew.
You became a Jew.
I became a Jew. I didn't go away from being a Jew.
You stopped being a Jew and became a Jew again? It's you?
I was a Christian and I found Judaism, and so I became a Jew in '98. I went on all sorts of searches to find myself, looking everywhere else.
Except within.
Except within.
All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk
Nick,
about
you
the
ready?
journey from within and how Clive took all of this information and went forward with the missing piece, offers some coaching courses, 888-565-1470, and we will be right back.
Want to make your smartphone brilliant? One tap creates a virtual wine fine tuner. Another, a coffee refiner. A beauty cream and makeup enhancer.
Wow. Look at your eye.
What a difference.
And with still just a tap, a strength and flexibility harmonizer.
Yeah, I definitely felt something different.
This is the Vitalizer. In the App Store on any smartphone, a simple download that will embed specific frequencies and vibrations into your phone's light photons and sound waves. Calibrations designed to affect taste,
Vitalizer one is better than the other one for sure.
hydration, absorption,
Feel silkier.
and perhaps most incredibly, your strength, flexibility, and energy. Amazing.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, salud. I'm loving it.
Go to www.vitalizerapp.com and make your smartphone brilliant.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or carmencarelaser.com.
I got a guy. You need a guy? I got a guy. With vCard Global, all your contacts are in the palm of your hand. Never leave home without your business cards or brochures again. vCard is the ultimate marketing tool. No more printing cards or brochures. vCard fits in the palm of your hand and is always with you. vCard is a powerful networking tool that virtually promotes sharing and builds referrals for your business. vCard Global, the virtual business card. Hold your business in the palm of your hand. Contact Jennifer at jenng.vcardinfo.com, the world's most intelligent business card. I got a guy, jenng.vcardinfo.com.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. That's 888-565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time.
And we're back.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV on a fun, I can't even say it's Fitness Friday. We're not even doing fitness today. Maybe we're doing fitness for our mind and our inner Humpty Dumpty work. We've got Clive Digby Jones with us. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. You're putting your mustache is bigger than
I'm going to
Humpty
sew the
Dumpty.
mustache on Humpty Dumpty. Do you remember in New York, we used to do something called the Crazy Glue Challenge? Steve, you remember this. So we used to get a ladder, put crazy glue on your thumb, and stick it on the ceiling.
Was this fun?
In 3 seconds.
Really?
Yes.
And why would you do this?
Because there was a commercial where the guy was hanging on the building.
With the hat?
With the hat.
I've got the hard
The
hat.
hard hat.
I got that hat.
He was in a building.
I got that.
So my brother came up, and he rests in peace, he came up with this challenge that he wanted to see if he got stuck on the ceiling, if it really worked.
And how'd that go?
It really works. We had to get nail polish remover to get it off.
It really works.
It's crazy.
But we're not getting stuck anymore. We're growing from the inside. We're putting Humpty Dumpty and the missing piece back together again with Clive Digby Jones. And you do coaching.
Yes.
What is your coaching? So I want to offer that to people
Well, he has a
while
whole
we
bunch
have
of
time.
books, too.
What are all these books, and how did this lead to the missing piece and Humpty? There's a lot of pieces we got to put together here.
I see a book there that I recognize.
You recognize a book?
Yes.
These are some books I bought because people spend a lot of time trying to improve themselves. Okay. So, for example, Secret.
That's the big one.
That's the big one. And Practicing the Power of Now. If I get a room full of people, or in fact all of the listeners now, and ask the question on a score of 1 to 10, I was listening to 1 to 10 being described on the
Right.
happiness scale. Well, this is a different. On 1 to 10, where 10 is being totally present. I'm here, I'm in my voice, I'm in my touch, I'm in my relationships, I'm totally here. How close to 10 are you on average? And almost everybody in the room will get a number that comes up because their system knows the extent to which they're on average they are present and the part of them that is not present.
That's without your mind wandering. You're thinking about the groceries,
All right, hold
the
it,
laundry.
hold it.
Are you present?
Hold it. We got a mic. Light up a mic in there. I want to ask the question. Oh, we got people in here.
Yeah.
Let's ask that question.
Yeah.
So the question is?
So if 10 out of 10 is being fully present, as opposed to distracted or off somewhere or whatever, on average, how close to 10 are you present?
Light that one up.
here?
It's on.
It's on? Okay,
How
answer
close
that
to
question.
present are you?
5.
Okay,
It's on.
5.
I need to turn the mics on.
You got to hit number 5, 6, or 6,
7,
7, 7, 8. Okay.
Okay.
Try now.
5.
So what that says to me is that 50% of you is trying to be 10.
You're a
That's
5.
something of a struggle. And the other thing is 50% of you is somewhere else doing something else. And 50-50 is one of the toughest places to be because you've got one foot on the accelerator and one foot on the brake. And you can tend to spin your wheels.
It's like Freddie says, you're sitting on a fence. No one said it wasn't going to be a picket fence, though.
That's right. It's never a comfortable fence.
So the interesting thing is to find out where is your missing 50%. How do you get a hold of it? And this is what we do when we're working with people. We help them find their missing pieces or piece. And I'll tell you in a minute how we do that.
I want to ask a question to the other people.
Yep.
What number do you got going there?
I'm at 7.
7. Okay, so 70-30. And one of the things we might do in it with you is how do you put 70 in one hand and 30 in the other hand and ask you which is where? Because the 70 is going to be your driving force, because that's the one that's out there, on the outside, doing everything. And then the 30% is somewhere else. Okay, so 70-30. Yeah.
And I find myself sometimes, depending on the situation, like when I'm here, I have to be present. When I'm home and the TV's on, you got to do laundry, and you got to do the dishes, and you got to do this, I'm not so present. So my 70-30, 50-50 is a little bit different depending on the situation.
Okay. Ladies tend to be able to multitask better than gentlemen, I would say.
I don't know about that.
But actually, that's why we do the average. So if you take it on average, what's your number?
Probably a 8, I want to say.
Okay.
Not too
All
bad.
right. So as Noah shared last night on the radio show, she's an 8 out of
10.
10, and she's working on her 20%. And she also shared that she found a younger self who had got left behind and was very unhappy. And the feelings that people have of negativity tend to come from those places that are like a tightly held, frozen piece of yourself.
And you're working with Noah. You work with people. And that's the part I want to get to, that you do coaching, and
Yes.
you help people what?
Well, we do personal sessions to help them find the missing percentage and get to 10. Normally 2 to 8 sessions is the maximum that anybody sees us. We also have a book, The Missing Piece, and it has exercises in it that you can do, and it has lots of case studies, so you can see how other people have worked on finding parts of themselves. And I can give lots of examples.
So what are some of the things that every time I start a sentence with so, I think of my friend Skip Kelly up at iHeart, who said, since when does a sentence start with so? What are you finding? What are people looking for? And what are some of the practices that we put in place?
People have a general feeling that they have more, that they have more potential, and they start trying to find different ways of doing it. That's usually in the awareness and self-management stage. Self-actualization is actually about finding and freeing the energy, the light. If, you know, what these two people told us, Dr. Candace Pert and...
Molecules of emotion and the biology of belief.
Yes.
I'd really rather deal with Humpty Dumpty, quite honestly.
Well, those are the scientists who tell us how we trap negative emotion in our bodies and how it leads to disease and cancers and other things. And the biology of belief tells us how negative thoughts running in the back of your head, out of your consciousness, are actually affecting your cells.
Well, all those thoughts of when you're a child of I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Which I think a lot of people seem to have. At least a lot of women I know in this community have told me that I'm not good enough syndrome. I should be doing more. I should be a better mother. I should be a better daughter. I should be a better wife. Whatever it is, I should be better at business. The should be betters are holding people back from who you truly are.
So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yes, we got that.
Okay.
This isn't a picture of, just for people on the radio that aren't seeing it, these are energy drawings of colors.
Yes. So at one workshop, this is the same person over 3-4 different workshops. And the first time he came, we have people look inside themselves and draw their energy as they feel it, as their system tells them to draw it. So he draws red lines on the outside, a lot of green, a lot of dark colors. And he knows that the red is anger and very...
It's got a whole color chart.
Well, wait a
of
minute.
colors.
The person drew this themselves.
Yes.
You gave me a piece of paper.
This
and
is
I'm
the
drawing
same
it.
person.
And we do
And
that.
that's how they feel at that particular
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, and this is an interesting thing. Their system, we call the person's system, is wanting to show how it's working. And the second one, there's lots of lighter colors. There's some yellows now.
Is that a different day, a different meeting?
It was about a month apart.
So it's a different environment.
We'd worked with him in the meantime, and he'd done work on the workshop. And then the third one is what most people would think is, oh my lord, look how strong, and he's got this central core and everything else.
More defined.
Yeah. Well, actually, he just pulled his energy all into one single column in the middle of him. He knew exactly how angry he was. And then this is the last one, which is it was totally released, and he couldn't draw an outline of himself.
He wasn't coached into doing this. He just randomly did it.
No, he did it. He did it with exercises. He did it with explorations that we take people on.
So he becomes radiating energy at the end.
Yes.
And you want to offer something to our listeners and our viewers.
Yes. So we have a free first session to the first person who contacts you.
So give Joe a call, 888-565-1470, and Clive Digby Jones will provide a free first session.
That's worth $150, and the next 3 people who call in will get a copy of the book, The Missing Piece.
Now, Clive, I got a whole bunch of questions, but I got a question. The Secret was a well-known book that was, I mean, I read it a few times because of its meaning, but because the way that it expresses how you have to be able to hold on to belief like you're holding a pencil. If you can't do that on a consistent basis, then things don't fall into place the way they should. I mean, that's what I got out of the book. Maybe some other people read it, they got something else. It's very difficult to do.
Yes.
Now, I'm looking at these drawings, and what they're telling me is if you think about how you feel about yourself, and then you put it down on paper, which can make an adjustment on you in a heartbeat. I'll give you an example. My mother died, and the question I'm going to raise on this thing is, how does that change show in those kind of drawings? So let's say I'm the last one, I'm radiant, and my mother dies. I'm not going to feel radiant at that moment of time, no matter what the studies are, no matter what I go through. So how do you interpret, I guess is the word I'm looking, how do you interpret your emotions that you can write them down this way?
Once you've achieved a degree of radiating, then whatever happens, I've lost people recently.
Okay.
It means that my recovery rate is so much greater.
Okay.
I go to the joy that
Good
I've
point.
experienced. It doesn't become a negative drain on me. And we are meant to be radiating beings. And what tends to happen is suddenly the friends we have may change because we start to attract different people. They may find that the old games we all used to play don't work anymore. So this is about finding the light. RAPSI is the approach we use, Ravenscroft approach to psycho-spiritual integration. And Humpty Dumpty.
Psycho-spiritual integration.
Yeah.
All right. How are we putting our psycho-spiritual? We're integrating it, I suppose.
But I love
the Humpty Dumpty
No,
thing?
I love the rebound aspect of what he's talking about because, you go through things in life. So people would say, oh, this program isn't going to make me constantly happy. He's not saying that. But you rebound back.
Yes.
And you rebound stronger, yes?
And it's like things naturally start to happen. I find, so last night I said, I need to know something about networking. This is to myself.
Right.
I am the God force, so I'm talking to myself. That upsets some people, but anyway. And I want to know about V-cards, and I come here today, and you change your speakers, and I'm going, well,
May the adjustment happen because of you.
well,
I can say that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. I can feel that and
We
be
have
happy.
we have like 4 young clients at the moment, and we're particularly keen to work with younger people who've got a whole life ahead of them. I mean, we'll work with anybody, but we're keen to have them maximize their beingness, their wholeness. And 2 of them were looking for new jobs. And the day after, I think it was their second session, both of them, they were suddenly, one of them got 14 job offers. The other one got her perfect job offer. And, she looked at us and we looked at her and said, wow.
Okay, 888-565-1470.
And they
You don't want to miss out on this.
Hold on a second. They're getting this because they went through the program.
Yeah, they're going through doing personal sessions.
So okay. So let's back up the truck here a little bit, because then if things are not working out for you in your life, it all comes from your mental outlook on things as well, doesn't it?
It's actually a physical thing because if you're holding negativity, even if you've done lots of work to forgive people from the past and you're on the outside you're being very successful, if there's something running on the inside, you need to find it and you need to dissolve it and you need to free the energy.
And I know we're going to talk about how we do it, but it almost reminds me of the Akashic Records, that it's all of these records that we hold from our life, our spirit forces, our manifestation forces, that you're identifying them and saying, all right, now, and this is the next step, let's work through them.
Yeah, I call myself a karma mechanic. Karma mechanic, difficult to say, because I'm helping people. We're all about empowerment. This is not about, last night I said I'm a healer, which makes me sound like a big shot. I do use healing skills in what I do, but it's not about me, solving your problems for you. It's about helping you become empowered, become your 100% self. And that involves bringing energies in. We talk about the Rhapsody Diamond, Ravenscroft approach to psycho-spiritual integration, Rhapsody Diamond, which if you imagine a point of light up above and a point of light down below, and points of light out here, the diamond is the energies of masculine and feminine, the energies up on high, the energies below, the energies deep in, the energies out back from your past, could go through to a past life. Energies out front, we often project a future self in front who has the job of pulling us forward with we're the anchor behind the person who's striving to be in the world.
It's like the vitalizer when it creates this dome of energy when we do
You know,
it
I
the
was
right
just
way.
thinking that.
Right? It's the dome of light and intention.
Yes.
And it's the diamond, but it's not a flat diamond. It's a pyramid of all facets
Yes.
of what it is.
And the vitalizer also shows energy in the body. Didn't he have the slides that show different?
It changes the inflammation and the energy,
Yes.
correct, with the light and sound.
And it had the same person going to the vitalizer, and their energy spectrum was changing with
Yeah.
the
They
colors
do the
got cooler or
thermography,
something?
right? So you could truly see what
Right.
you're doing if you look at thermography, which
Yes.
would be a really interesting study that someone comes into you and you do a thermographic scan and you look at the colors which you're having drawn. So
Yes.
you're really doing your own thermography.
Yes.
You go through the session and then they do a follow-up thermography. Imagine seeing the colors then.
That would be good. I'm just
Then
happen
there
to
it
have
is.
an
Which would
inner,
be-
an inner one.
All right, hold your inner one. We're going to take a commercial break. 888-565-1470. More with Rhapsody, your inner diamond, and finding your missing piece. And we will be right back.
BeBetterPrepared.info is an affordable way to prepare yourself and your family for the worst. Stock up with emergency gear and the knowledge you need to be ready in case of an emergency. From first aid, safe water supplies, to shelter, BeBetterPrepared.info is a convenient way to quickly stock up on survival and camping gear at an affordable, pre-packaged price. Order Elite Ready Pack to get started. No matter what the situation, go to BeBetterPrepared.info and you will be prepared if disaster strikes or for your camping needs.
I am Crunchy because knowledge is power. Crunchy is a revolutionary line of safe and high-performing toxin-free cosmetics that are redefining beauty. You no longer have to sacrifice your health for your beauty or your beauty for your health. Be conscious about what are in your cosmetics and how they affect your body. Contact me at 703-509-2592 or explore at crunchywithanI.com/Liz Sant, LIZSANDT. Again, it's 703-509-2592.
What is Debersize? With over 25 years of personal training experience and workout techniques, Deb Varsalone invites you to Debersize. Debersize comes to you from the privacy of your own home or group training facility. Debersize can meet your individual fitness needs, offering one-on-one, non-impact resistance training, post-surgical strengthening to higher level boot camp and weight training. Debersize will meet your personal fitness goals at any age. Contact Deb at 561-307-9283. Schedule an initial consultation and get ready for a stronger, healthier you. 561-307-9283. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Don and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. That's 888-565-1470. Let's reopen the cafe doors. Now, back to Don and Freddie S.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. And don't forget to like this video.
And subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want to be notified when we go live. We'll see you next time. And And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV for our last segment of this fun Friday with Freddie, who is,
I got a
you're
hole
like
in
a
my mouth.
commercial where you can like throw the mint up and catch it and it falls
I
on the
did that
floor.
one time. I almost choked.
Did you make it?
No. That's why I don't do it no more.
Gonna pick a card? Pick a card, any card. Let's see. You know, the other day we had a guest pick the card and she picked Noah. It was about, pick a card, Mr. Clive Digby Jones.
Okay.
Let's see what it says. Are you ready? Hurricane season is coming. We're talking hurricane preparedness.
It says, show me the money.
Show me the money. You never know when, never know a bank runs out in a natural disaster and will shut banks and ATMs down for extended periods of time. Keep cash, $20 bills or smaller in your car and home. Everyone should have silver-ready coins and small gold-ready coins. Don't store all of your coins in a safe deposit at the bank. Have popular bartering items available, cigarettes, alcohol, and ammo. I feel like I'm back.
You know, it's really funny because some people forget to take
out
cash.
money.
To take cash, and you go to use your debit card, and there's no power. And the next thing you know, you out there.
Well, you know, when you went to Puerto Rico, you needed cash.
That's
There was
how
no
I could tell
ATMs,
you.
right? You
This is
lived
how I
this.
could tell you. I wish I had this deck of cards. I'm gonna tell you. I went to Puerto Rico because I went to bury my mother, and I didn't think about taking cash with me. And there was no ATMs, there was no power, there was nothing. So we had to drive everywhere. Now there was no gasoline, so I had to find gas to be able to drive to San Juan.
To get the money from the bank.
There was one building that had a line that was 16 days long to be able to get money so that we can get stuff.
Tip of the day, when you're getting ready and you're getting all your food and water and canned goods together, keep an emergency bank account with you. Not bank account, cash stash. And don't keep it all in one place because better not to. You can do gold coins, silver coins from BeBetterPrepared.info. You can also get more information on the Elite Ready Pack. Are You Ready commercial? That's a new sponsor. So thank you to Bill Dirth for that, who happens to be in studio.
Yes, he is.
20s or smaller. Keep cash, which easy. And I love the bartering idea.
What
Bartering items,
What
cigarettes, alcohol, and ammo.
And there you go. That's right, because sometimes you have to do a little negotiation.
You never know what you got to barter with.
Well, it's amazing because when a hurricane comes, your neighbors who are not prepared are going to barter
when you
with
put all this food together, you have like a big cookout.
That's
Everything in
right.
the freezer starts to melt, and you got to
That's
cook
right.
it all up.
That's
But we're talking here today with Clive Digby Jones. We've got a segment of putting Humpty Dumpty together, and I don't want to run out of time. Of how did you come up with the Humpty Dumpty analogy?
I realized that it was me.
Let's get you closer to the mic.
Okay.
Humpty Dumpty is you.
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty is me. It really describes my journey. It's like, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. The king was distraught. Queen Rapsy was not. She gathered the pieces unheeded. And although there's a mess, I can see deep inside that it's light that's desperately needed. She helped him explore as Humpty awoke, and the hurt and the cracks receded. The magic was working. Light shone all around. Once again, Queen Rapsy succeeded. So that's describing how Eileen, over 27 years of life, first as my psychotherapist, you're not supposed to marry your patients, but we did. She's helped me with sessions. I've helped her too, because I've trained with
Think
her.
how interesting that is when you think about it. The king's horses and the king's men don't laugh at me because it's a nursery rhyme. Couldn't put Humpty together again. Physically, he was put back together again, but emotionally and spiritually, who has to do the work?
That's right.
You have to do your own work. You're laughing at me because I think in nursery rhymes and animation and movies. So to me, it makes perfect sense because you can put all the outside together. And you can get dressed up and put on your makeup and walk out the door. But if you're hurting inside, only you can do that work to bring the light in.
Yes, and you can do only so much on your own. One of the things we found is that people have set up protective mechanisms, mostly located in the head, which stops them going right to the end.
We build walls.
We build walls, yeah, that's right, walls and defenses. So it's about taking those walls down.
Well, isn't it amazing that you can spend time building a wall instead of living the real you? And telling people, listen, this is the real me. And I always say to people, I'm not here to be liked. I will be respected, but I'm not here to be liked.
Right.
And live your life and live it to succeed.
Yes.
But everybody seems to fall back to building walls and making and showing very small glimpses of who they really
But
are.
I think it goes back to what you said about your childhood, when you suppress certain feelings that you
But
know
why?
are not accepted, well, whatever reason, why, not blaming anyone, but we suppress things, they're not accepted, we suppress them again, and that becomes your norm. Because if I can't, as a man, can you, I know you tear, but can men cry? You were told, no, you can't.
But who said that?
It's a thing.
What thing?
Men, do you, I've got a studio full of men.
You guys know how to cry?
Do men cry?
Have you guys ever cried before?
Oh, I've already had my epiphany, so I do.
Bill had his and he has an epiphany. Nick, yes?
Nick, you ever cry?
Yes.
Yeah, last night.
The other
Well,
Nick
we got
cries
two
some.
Nicks.
Well, the bottom line here is that people tell you things. It doesn't mean that that's what you do.
But people don't do what they do what they think they should do.
And their energy is what's responding. So it's like, you know, you can be hearing stuff and you're being told stuff, but what you're feeling is, this is not for me, this is not good, and you pull in. And then, and this was really what I wanted to say on the secret, by the time you come to actually try and put this into effect, how much of you is available? You know, 1 to 10?
None.
Yeah.
But
well,
and it shows you how little of you is available. That's the scary part about that book.
And I wanted just to tell you, this lady was 23, and she came to see Eileen and I, and what we didn't know was that she was having her blood tested a particular way. So the top 4 show stomach, stress, free radicals, lymph, and it showed she was heading for cancer. She had had stomach problems since she was 13. In the middle, she was working with us, and in some ways things got worse because she was actually finding where the pain was, what was going on. And this is 6 weeks after the sessions with us, she was totally healed. What we had to do with her was, along the way, about the middle of the 6 sessions, she discovered she had this 13-year-old self standing in back of her with her arms crossed, and she was, you know, she was damned if she was going to cooperate with the adult self, the 23-year-old, and us.
You know, it always goes back to the childhood, which is so sad but so true.
Well,
because
Sigmund
that's-
Freud was a big proponent of that. Listen, I got a question.
Okay. You forgot it?
No, I want to know how to ask it. You ever notice that when you are feeling good and then they do a blood test or something and they find cancer, they find something,
Yes.
and all of a sudden you get sick
Yes.
and they put you in the hospital and you die? I mean, I'm better off not going in that
Not finding
place
out.
and not finding out.
Yeah.
Psychologically, the energy piece.
It does.
Is that what you're
it's
talking
difficult.
about here?
Yeah, and you can be positive and you can heal yourself, but for a lot of people that is a bit of a death sentence. I mean, I remember we worked with somebody who had a cancer, and they were you know, trying to rise out of their body. They were working against the process of becoming fully embodied and then radiating, which would have helped possibly heal the cancer. Things may have gone too far. So, but it's more than just convincing yourself that you can beat it. It is actually about finding the source. Had a lady with a ovarian cancer, and she was from Germany, and it turned out that she found her mother beating her back in pre-war times because discipline was strong.
Mm-hmm.
It was when she dissolved that the pre-cancerous situation went away.
Wow.
Man, there are more stories.
And we say all the time that different feelings can turn your body into different. Look, Humpty Dumpty's stuck on my wand. Humpty Dumpty. Look at that. Sorry, I digress.
That's one smart egg. I tell you that. He ain't going down.
But different feelings do create different physical statements and illnesses in your body.
Yes.
How funny is that?
But you know, I think that the secret to this is twofold. One is that which you just said, and the other one is it coming so that you accept it.
Yes.
You know, I think that a lot of people will listen to this conversation and say, "Can I do it? You know, can I actually believe that I'm here and do the things that I am capable, that he's saying that I'm capable of doing?" That's the biggest mystery. It's the mystery, one of the 8 mysteries of life. Can you? And the answer is?
Can you?
Find out.
How can people contact you?
So, and give a phone number.
Sure.
Which you can text or call 561-351-9134. 561-351-9134.
And let's talk about your book.
Yes.
How people can find your book.
Well, if you text or if you email C. Digby Jones, that's DIGBY-JONES, at Ravenscroft, which is the bird in the nest, ravenscroft.com.
Look who walks in.
I feel like a Harry Potter.
Yeah.
It's Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan. in
Then
the house.
you can
Dan.
get the book from us. It's $10 plus postage.
Dan, check this out, Dan.
What is that?
Email
Humpty
cdigby-jones at
Gmail.
At gmail
sorry,
dot-
at ravenscroft.com.
ravenscroft.com, or you can contact you at what phone number?
561-351-9134.
Such great information here, talking about finding your energy, different stories. Wow, Freddie, we had a lot of reading to do.
Well,
Language of disease.
Okay, but hold on. I got a different question about this book. If you find you're going through all this, that there are so many things that you have to work on, because sometimes it comes in layers, like the onion you spoke
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
What do you work on first?
Well, obviously, if they're doing immunology on you, and you can extend
Immunology.
Yeah, extend your life. That would be good to give you time. But we would say try and find the source of this.
The source.
Yeah, the source. Where did this come from?
And again, don't write to Freddie, because no one writes to me, that we're curing cancer or we're curing anything.
Yeah,
we're
don't
not
say
curing
that.
anything. We're looking
Yeah.
at the source of potentially disease causes. Sometimes it's stress, different life experiences, any changes.
And you have a
Maybe.
choice to make one.
So don't write to Freddie and tell him we're cured cancer, because you know what? We would love to, but we're not saying that.
That ain't happening.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you, Clive.
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Nick, and everyone who's here. Be safe, be kind to each other. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye. Do you find yourself asking, why am I doing this again? I feel stuck, or I can't get clarity. An Akashic Record consultation will give you unbiased guidance and insight to move past being stuck and move forward with ease. Akashic Records are your individualized thoughts, words, and actions from the spiritual world. An Akashic Record consultation pulls from the non-physical world of your past, present, and future. Contact Julie for your Akashic Records consultation. 561-945-1108. AskYourBook.com. Be in conscious alignment. That's 561-945-1108.